And now we're going to take a look at some of the big stories from a different perspective.
Columnist and commentator Ellis Henican joins us this morning with the funny side of the news. And you said this is your award season.
This is my Oscar month, absolutely. How you guys?
Good.
It's great to see you.
Happy Friday.
So,
thank you.
Thanks for flying in. Speaking of, what about these American Airline seats?
Oh my God! You know, listen. I keep thinking flying can't get worse, right? And then we just and then we discover that American Airlines isn't bolting the seats to the floor. I mean, this is This is basic stuff, right? This isn't some high-tech gizmo in the cockpit. This is like forgetting to close the door before takeoff. I mean, come on.
It's called a wrench.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you do when we find out who's to blame? What do we do to those people?
Well, I mean, if you can pin it on an individual, I mean, you got to fire them immediately. And you know this has got to come out of all the fights that have been going on at American, right? They've been in bankruptcy, there's union hassles. I think we may never know. I think let's just hope they get the bolts.
So we stay safe.
And I mean, it's not just American. Listen, all of these airlines, right? I mean, you see this thing at Spirit Airlines right now?
What, the overhead?
No, $100 for a bag.
Yeah, to bring on a bag.
And $200 to bolt the seat down.
No, stop it.
They're like, now we're going to start charging for the
screw.
Yeah.
I mean, first we want them to follow, exactly. First we want them to follow basic safety procedures. And then they want to wring every last dollar. I mean, what's next? Pay toilets?
Well, I
don't say that, Ellis. You put it out there. They're like,
how's that going to work out in the coach section? Do you think? No.
Well, that's, it can get sensitive. I tell you, our next topic is pretty sensitive. The dad shaming his child online. What do you think about that? A bathroom mistake for a youngster.
This is a toddler who has an accident in the shower, and dad puts a picture of the kid on Facebook, right? And
there's the picture right there.
Yeah, I'm just glad my parents didn't do that and be the Ellis is a bedwetter sons. And that's when I was 16. By the way.
Ellis, my goodness.
No, I mean, this thing is popular, right? I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's kind of a mean parenting technique,
I think it's horrible,
right? I mean, we're supposed to be building up the self-esteem of these kids, and
you just worry about the child down the road.
Yeah, because once it's out there forever.
Yeah, no, exactly right. You're going to be there in high school, and kids are going to be passing that around in homeroom.
Well, even on the sign it says, "My parents have the right to use this in my senior yearbook." On the sign that they wrote out for her. So, I mean, I think that they were trying to be humorous. But it's just like at the expense of your child. You know, when do you really rein it all in?
Yeah, that is not too funny. And just seriously, just think about all the embarrassing things we did when we were kids.
There was a Facebook when I was growing up. I would
no cell phone cameras, right? Exactly, right?
Yeah, we were winding up the disposable account. You had time to get away.
Totally.
Now we just have to protect ourselves from being dumb enough to put our own embarrassing pictures on social media sites. Right?
Constantly updating my status.
Well, we were talking about jobs right now. The big news of the week, I think that everybody's been talking about, it's the news anchor that came out and she spoke about the person who was criticizing her for her weight, and this guy wrote in that she was a poor example for women. What do you think about that whole story?
I gotta tell you, I understand that all of us who are in the public eye, we do have some responsibilities as role models, and that's true, and television is a visual medium. But you know what? In the end, the viewers decide. And in La Crosse, Wisconsin, they seem to love this lady, right? The emails are pouring in, the support is showing up, they're mad at the guy who sent the mean email. And in the end, I mean, listen, this is local TV. These are our friends and family, the people who have watched these shows, right? And so people feel connections, right? I mean, don't you get that kind of mail?
Yeah, I mean, we get mail that criticizes us a lot.
No, but people feel like you're part of the family.
I get that mail too, the good stuff.
Right? I mean, mostly, and so they celebrate your triumphs and they feel bad about the tough stuff, and once in a while they punch it right in the,
but what does this say to young women who want to be in this industry who may not be picture perfect Barbie? You know, I think that is the bigger issue here, is that there are other women who are capable of being on air. You don't have to be a stick figure, and I applaud this woman for fighting back on it.
I agree. Listen, there are a lot of great ways that different kind of people can be beautiful and appealing and attractive, and you're right. I think we're getting past the idea, right, that it can only be the Barbie. It can only be hunky guys like that.
I gotta tell you,
I mean, you two.
I think there's another side to this story. I was distressed watching a national show when two of the hosts went off and the guy could have sued them for what they said about the guy who sent the email, equating him to being a homophobic and to being a racist. I mean, making these outlandish leaps. And they kept saying, the guy who said she's fat, the guy who said she's fat, he never used the word fat, he used obese. And now, so that logic would lead me to believe Mayor Bloomberg is just as guilty of this woman for the 16-inch sodas.
Up to a whole
I mean, it's where do you draw the line?
No, she said he crossed the line when he said that her weight made her unfit as a role model. So then he's equating the two as saying, well, your self-worth is only based on the weight of your body.
Call him homophobic and racist.
Well, that's not right.
There was nothing in the email, and we've all read the whole thing. It wasn't the worst. I mean, I've seen. I've gotten stuff. I've gotten stuff worse than that. I mean, honestly. But listen, I'll tell you the good piece of it. If we're having a discussion about that, right? Yes, there's an issue of obesity in society. Yes, kids have got to deal with that.
And bullying.
And bullying.
Yes.
And yes, and you're absolutely right about that. That there isn't only one way to be great. You know, there's a lot of different ways we can be attractive and appealing and fun. And that's what's just so great about this kind of show on television, I think, right?
You mean the couch?
The couch? No, but these are our people.
Yes.
These are the, you know, and people, and listen, if they're going to say they love you, sometimes they're going to criticize you too.
And that's fine. It's fine. It's just when you cross the line.
That's it. You take the good with the bad. And Ellis, Henican, thank you for coming and discussing all of those issues with us. Thanks for stopping by the couch.
Enjoy a 16-ounce.
Come back. We'll throw some more punches next time.
Just don't put that old Facebook picture on.
No. We got you covered.